It's embodied learning.
Embodied learning, I think, is really understanding how you are learning all the time, tacitly, and it's learning that we're not really aware of. It's a form of experiential learning that is, critical. I think it becomes hardwired. And I think it shapes how we are reacting in certain kinds of situations. And quite often we're not truly aware of it until we make a mindful effort to make that kind of connection.
How do you think, what's helpful about connecting embodied learning to leadership development?
I think because particularly increasingly leaders are faced with situations that involve a lot of rapid change, a lot of hyper interconnectedness between groups within their organizations that don't always easily agree or connect. There's having to deal with very challenging kinds of situations, and how you draw on your tacit embodied knowing, and also being aware of how that is actually maybe being an impediment. I think that's absolutely critical. In fact, one of the terms that comes out of Bob Keegan's work is called horizontal versus vertical development. Well, actually it's vertical development and horizontal development. Horizontal development actually many times focuses much more on cognitive knowledge collection, where vertical development has to do with enhancing your ability to be able to deal with these, to work more effectively within networks, to be able to develop what, using one of the other theory streams, is being called complexity leadership, where leadership is embedded in teams. And all of that, to really facilitate all of that, I think requires awareness of your embodied learning and how you're continually being influenced by how your body is reacting in particular situations and what you're able to learn from it.
What's different about learning this way?
I think I think what's primarily different about it is that it thoroughly integrates, for lack of a better word, knowledge about with knowledge about how. It really brings the what and the how together in a way that often is not effectively brought together, because the how is often discussed in the same way as the knowing what is. So it's more of an integrated way of being in the actual energy that's happening in the situation at the moment.
Who would benefit from learning in this way?
Well, any number of people would. I think anybody in today's world, because everybody's being faced by increased challenges, even just at the civic level, seeing what's happening within the broader society. But certainly people who are in jobs that are very tense, where they have to make very quick kinds of decisions under conditions of uncertainty, people who are looking to move into much broader leadership kinds of responsibilities, where they have to be able to work across functions, but even people who are very responsible for rolling their work out that impacts other people within organizations, for example, need to be able to, they would really benefit from this kind of learning, because it makes them more aware of how they need to work crossing boundaries. So I think almost anyone.